Cristina, I'm la mamma di Pino. Today's recipe is going to be Antipasto di Pesce, which is a fish antipasto salad. It's very simple, and I'm going to tell you what you need to do this recipe. You're going to get 2 pounds of baby octopus, they're right over here, which I already washed. I have 2 bags of these are baby lobster tail. You can find them at the grocery store. I got 2 bags for this recipe. Each bag is about 6 ounces, so that's all you need. A bag of frozen calamari, and also you need a bag of shrimp. In this case, I bought already cooked shrimp. This is 16 ounces. For this recipe, you can also get some clams and some mussels. You can have maybe a dozen of clams and a dozen of mussels. What you do, you just wash them, you put them in a pan, you put the lid on, and you put them on the stove until they open. Now for the dressing, we need lemon, salt, 2 tablespoons of parsley, 2 cloves of garlic, pepper, vinegar. To put inside the salad, which is going to be very, very colorful, we're using red pepper, bell pepper. We're just going to use this for color and also for taste. We're also using some carrots, and we're also using some celery. We're going to start with the octopus. All we're doing now, we're going to cook this in 1 gallon of water. Here's my pan. I'm putting the octopus in there. They don't look very pretty, but they are very, very good. Now, as I said, these are the baby octopus. Now we're going to bring the pan on the stove. Okay, now we put the octopus on the stove. We turn on the heat. We make sure we're going to leave it on high. Right now, we're going to pour in here half a cup of white wine vinegar. Okay? Half a cup. Now, as you can see, the heat, I put it high. I'm waiting for this to come to a boil. As soon as this comes to a boil, I'm going to cover it like this. Not all the way. I leave a little bit open. I just put the lid on the top like this. So it's going to evaporate a little bit. And I'll put this on low heat. So it's going to boil very slowly. This is going to boil for half an hour. After half an hour, you get a fork and you see if you can get inside the octopus to see if they're cooked or not. If they're tender, they're done. If they're not tender, you let it go for another 10 minutes. Now let's go and see if the octopus are ready. I'm going to try with the fork. You know, the fork gets in it perfectly. They're nice and tender. Now, as they boil, I'm just going to put the heat very, very low, because now at this point, I'm going to drain the octopus out of the pan, just like this. And at this point, we're going to turn the heat higher. And we're going to throw the squid in there, which is the calamari that I showed you before, that I washed very, very, very well. Make sure you always wash and rinse your fish. You never want to cook the fish as you buy it or from the freezer into the pan. We're going to throw them in the water. Be careful. Very slowly. Don't get burned, because the water can be hot and it can splash on you. So you do that. We put the lid on. And this is going to cover and cook for 10 minutes. And we're going to check them out. Now, while the calamari are boiling in the water, of course, we're going to start with our vegetables, because this salad needs a little bit of fresh vegetables. Let's start with the carrots. We're going to dice them, not too big. We don't want big pieces, we want small pieces. So we're going to chop these carrots. And at this point, I'm going to put all the vegetables in this little bowl. Now we're going to start with the celery. Now this might be very, very silly, but it's not. Sometimes I see people clean the celery and they get the peeler and they peel it off. Please don't do that. It's the best flavor. You're taking all the juice out of the celery. All you have to do when you have a celery, get the top, you go like this, just a little bit, and you pull it down. And you have all the string that comes out. That's what you don't want to eat. But you have the juice and the taste in the stalk of the celery. We're going to cut that in half, because remember I said we want small pieces. And you're going to dice the celery the same way as you did for the carrots. The green part of the celery, never remove it because it's the best part. It gives you a lot of flavor to your food and to your salads. So make sure that I use that. That's the best. Now we're going to start with the pepper. I like to put a little bit of pepper in there for color. So I'm using the red pepper. What I'm doing is cut the pepper in half. Okay? I make sure I get all the white part because this is bitter. You don't want that in your food. So you make sure you get it off, just like this. Okay. And I'll start dicing this in the same way that I did for the salad, the carrots. I'm going to make little strips. And it's going to look so good with the other colors. And I'll show you when we have this done. So we have all our vegetables chopped. And now we're going to go and see how the calamaris are doing. Now let's go and check the calamari again. We're going to turn the heat off. And I'm going to check one now. Oh yes, they're nice and tender. I tasted with the fork and they're ready to come out. So we're going to check the octopus. And if we need to, we're going to cut them a little bit. Okay. Now we're done cutting them, and that's how they look. As you can see, we have perfect bite size. They look very, very nice. We have the calamari and the octopus. Okay, at this point, we're going to put a little bit of condiments in here. We're going to put a little bit of salt. Okay, a little bit of salt. We're going to use the fresh ground pepper. And now we're going to cut our 2 cloves of garlic. Just like that. And we're going to drizzle on the top. At this point, we're going to use some lemon juice. Now we're going to put the shrimp in here. Remember, we washed them. Those were already cooked shrimp. And plus with the mini lobster tail. Okay? Just throw in there. These also are already cooked. And we're going to throw in here the vegetables that we already have ready. And we're going to add all these beautiful colors in there. And make sure you have every bite. Now we're also going to put in here the 2 tablespoons of parsley. I'm going to use just 1 tablespoon because we're going to need a little bit more to top our plate when it's done. So I use the parsley. At this point, we're going to top it with half a cup of extra virgin olive oil. Look these colors. These are just beautiful. Now at this point, we're going to cover it because we're going to put this in the refrigerator. We're going to let it marinate for a couple of hours, even 3 hours. So you can make this ahead of time. There we go. Now it's time to serve our fish antipasto salad. We're going to go and get it out of the fridge. It's been here for 2 hours now, so it's ready to come out. Now here's a suggestion how you can serve this. We're going to use some green baby leaf lettuce. So we're going to put it on our serving plate. We make like a bed like this. We make sure that a little bit is sticking out of the edge of the plate. We're going to top it with our fish, just like this. We're going to serve this salad with more lemon. We're going to dust it with a little bit of fresh parsley. Just like that. And we're going to drizzle on the top. There you go. That's all you need. And at this point, we're going to drizzle also with 2 nice tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And this is ready to serve. Have fun with this salad and buon appetito!